Alright, well Dad got a head start on me today. We're picking ear corn. He woke up a little before me, so he already had a wagon full. That's why the start, I guess I'll probably put this before, but the start of the video was the wagon he already had full. He was already running it up. I got here, just ran around, got a little video, but he's filling up that wagon now, and we'll get into the video of picking ear corn. Well, you can see Dad, his homemade flappers are working pretty good. He made those out of a conveyor belt and then bolted them onto a bar, mashed them together, and then welded them onto a square tube to go through. He's in the 1486. Got the wagon hooked up. I'm gonna get you some video of him picking some ear corn. Then this is kind of a one-man job out in the field. Normally I could run the wagons up. One of us could be picking ear corn, one of us could run the wagons up. But now it's kind of a two-man job to run the wagons up with how full the crib is. We need somebody up in it to shoot the corn down. It is a wide row head, but you can get two narrow rows if you're careful. It gets balled up a little bit there, but that's not really a problem. You can see it's not like a normal corn head today on a combine. The stalks just pretty much go right through it. It doesn't chop them off. It doesn't even hardly break them off. It just kind of bends them over. But you can see all the ears are gone. A lot of the husks are even left on. It just pulls the ear right out of the husk when you got good dry corn. Like, you'll think there's an ear in there because it leaves the silk and all the husk, but there's not ears on the ground, and it takes them all. Actually does a pretty good job. Not a lot of, I mean, sometimes you'll get one, I assume it butt shells, but like there's a little circle of corn here, and then there's no corn, then there's like a kernel and a kernel. When you think about how old that New Idea ear corn picker is, it's doing a pretty good job. But I'm just gonna hang out in the field and get you guys some video of Dad harvesting. Wish I had a drone. Have to invest in one of those sometime. Follow Dad around in the field. And then we're gonna go up and unload the wagon. Like I say, it's gonna be probably me up in the ear corn crib with a chute. And then Dad will be, oh, we did lose one. Dad will be down on the ground, running it into the conveyor. And probably got 3 or 4 more loads to put up in the ear corn crib. Then we'll fill a couple wagons up and back them in the shed. But this is all going to be used for cattle feed. And the best part about, even if we do lose some, like this year, we run cows on this corn stalks after. So they'll clean it up good, get a little bit out of the corn stalks, clean up all the ears for sure. Nothing goes to waste. Oh, here comes Dad back to this end. If you want to see me in the cab picking, go back to either last year's videos or the year before. I got quite a few videos. This was actually one of the first things I ever did a video on 2 years ago. I think it was in November 2 years ago. I videoed me picking ear corn or running ear corn up. See, this one runs real close to this row, but if you're careful with it, you don't have to knock any over. And like I say, it's the it's either 36 or 38 inch rows is what that head's set up to pick. Wide row pickers are a lot cheaper than narrow row pickers. We used to have we still have a narrow row picker, but it kind of fell apart, so now it's a parts one, just like our combines. We have a couple extras laying around. But this one's been pretty good. I got a really good deal on it. Seen it on Facebook Marketplace 2 years ago, I think. See, Dad shuts that off because he's got quite a ways to drive back to the other end of the field, because you got to pick all the way around unless you open up the center, which we didn't. And that way when he's making the turns, that conveyor won't throw the corn out over the side of the wagon. Sorry if there's any wind noise. But yeah, I got quite a few more videos on this. Some of them will probably have different details. I believe this is a New Idea 324 picker with the 327 husking bed on it. So it's got the bigger husking bed for the higher capacity. You can go a little bit faster with it that way. The old 324 husking bed, like was on our narrow row, you had to go pretty slow. Otherwise, he'd get too much corn going in there and get backed up. But now that he's to the other end of the field, I'll slow the tractor down, idle it way down, re-engage the PTO, head back across. You'll start seeing corn come out of that conveyor here pretty soon. Obviously, it takes a few seconds to get all the way through the machine. Yep, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I see ears of corn coming out now. Maybe I'll hop on the 856 here. That's what we're using to run the wagons back and forth. Go chase them around. Get a little video of that just for fun. This is a lot easier than running around behind it. yeah, and the 14 still doesn't have its hoods on it. Cut Dad off just for shits and giggles. And we don't worry about the husk that gets in here, because it's not like it's got to go to a grain elevator where they worry about it being clean. It's going up in the ear corn crib, and then we grind it into cattle feed, so that just becomes filler for the cattle feed. Never causes a problem. Grinds right up with the rest of it. You can see Dad's fingers, they do real good. It almost needs another one. Dang, camera doesn't want to focus. It almost needs another one though down at the end here to keep that little bunch right there from bunching up. But like I say, that bunch doesn't really cause a problem, because if it gets backed up, it either throws it up over it or it'll push it down. So we don't worry about it too much. As long as it's not causing a problem, why worry about it, right? Then these rollers spin, and they grab some of the excess husk and all the stalk and whatever, throw it out. As you can see, there's not a lot coming out of it, because look how much of the stalk gets left on the ground. So it's just the occasional stalk that comes up there. Dad does a pretty good job at keeping on the row, because if you get over just a little bit, you'll knock that outside row over. But he's a little more meticulous and goes a little slower than us sometimes. Keeps it right on the row. I missed it for you guys. One of the other local farmers just went by on the road right here. Real nice semi, big chrome straight pipe on it. He revved it a little and hit the horn for us. He'd seen me up here in the wagon. Didn't have the camera out though. And all the shelled corn that comes up, not a problem. It goes into the crib and then gets ground up with all the rest of it. All right, so as you've seen there, we put the chutes on. We're gonna get this end of the crib filled, and then I'll just work the chutes back up and fill in behind it here. And then we might shoot a little bit down over that way. There's a little hole back there, but going pretty good. Got maybe 2.5 wagons left to put up here. Might be able to squeeze 3 if we try, but I don't know that we'll need 3. And before anybody comments, this is perfectly safe to stand on this. You don't sink in ear corn like you do shell corn in a grain bin. So this is safe to stand on. You just got to pay attention for everything else. All the moving parts, but that's just normal day on the farm. Always be aware. Hanging out on the 856 again. Dad's picking down there, right there. Hope you guys enjoyed watching so far. Probably gonna make this a 2-parter video. Next one will be actually getting the crib full and probably a little bit more picking, but I was sitting here waiting on Dad, so I started doing some editing, and I got more than enough video for one video. Probably be a almost 20-minute video the way it is, so if I finished the video off with what we're doing today, it'd probably end up being over a half hour. I don't know if you guys want to watch a half hour of this all at once, so we'll split it up and put them out over a couple of days. Have a couple extra videos this week, hopefully. But hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks for all the followers and supporters out there. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook. I have a TikTok, but they banned me from it because that's where I was doing fun stuff that TikTok and YouTube don't like, apparently. But hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, have a good one.